So next week, starting April the 26th, is National Work Zone Awareness Week. This week is basically asking people to be aware of work zones, specifically on the highways while you're driving. In the city of Dayton, we do have two active work zones that are going on right now. We have one on Interstate 75 near Edwin C. Moses Boulevard, and then we have another one on US Route 35 over by Smithville that leads all the way out to 675. Both of these zones are 50 miles an hour during active construction, and those zones are marked with signs that say 50 miles an hour. We do ask that people slow down and pay attention to those zones, as there's also lane changes and traffic flow changes within those zones. Just to give it a little bit of background, over the last 5 years we have had 110 crashes within work zones in the city of Dayton, 25 of those being injury-related crashes in those work zones. So we do ask people to slow down, pay attention to the changing of lanes, and pay attention to the work zone speeds.
Will you be having more enforcement in those areas?
Yes, so we will look, we have began more enforcement in those areas already due to the work zones and this time of year. We will focus on those particular zones during Awareness Week, but we do focus on those zones generally with traffic enforcement. There will be a special joint traffic enforcement detail next week in combination with us, Ohio State Highway Patrol, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, and the Trotwood Police Department, and part of that will focus on some of those construction zones in the city.
Can you talk about the safety of workers, like how people need to think about that?
Yeah, so obviously these are active construction zones, and there are concrete barriers, but those are not necessarily going to protect them if there's a high rate of speed or a crash or something that could penetrate that particular wall. These are fathers, mothers, children, family members that are out there working for a living, trying to make our highways better for our transportation needs. And obviously when they're out there, they're exposed to the elements of not only the outdoor elements, but the elements of the vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed past them. And we do just ask people to take that into consideration for these people that are out there working within those zones.